This is Mark Kendall of Great White, and you're tuned in to 20th Century Classic Radio.
You've got it on 20th Century Classics, and in a moment, I'll be talking with Great White founding member and lead guitarist, Mark Kendall. Great White released their self-titled debut album in 1984, produced by Michael Wagoner. They would reach their peak popularity in 1989 with their cover of the Ian Hunter song, Once Bitten, Twice Shy, which peaked at number 5 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. The band is back at it again in 2017 with the release of their new album, Full Circle, on June 2nd. Full Circle reunited the band with legendary producer Michael Wagoner for sessions in Nashville, Tennessee. And now, without any further delay, here's my conversation with Great White's Mark Kendall. What music did you listen to growing up, and what artists influenced you personally?
Well, actually, when I was a really young boy, my parents listened to a lot of, my dad was a jazz trumpet player, so I used to kind of hum along to some of their records, and they had what's called a hi-fi. And I remember I would sit by this hi-fi and like sing along to, there was a lot of singing music, but it was kind of jazzy. I remember a song called "Girl from Ipanema," that bump, and I was just like a melody guy right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just before I turned 10 years old, my dad got me a guitar, and my first 3 records I got were Cream, Disraeli Gears, Jimi Hendrix, and The Doors.
Oh, wow.
Strange Days. And I would sit, not really paying attention that much to the guitar, more of the singing and the melody. That seemed to interest me the most, was the singing. Because I just loved the melodies of it,
Oh, yeah, those are great artists.
Yeah, pretty incredible first 3 albums. Then I remember he got me a bunch of records in some kind of bargain bin, and a lot of it was kind of crappy or whatever, but there was a couple bands like Badfinger, I remember discovering that.
Oh, yeah.
And the Moody Blues, which was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I just saw them in concert.
Some nice music they put out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I understand that you used to play baseball, and you were even going to be a professional player. So how did you make the transition into music from baseball?
Well, I think the deal was, my dad, he kind of fell short as far as, going all the way and being famous as far as, he jammed with a lot of great people, but I don't know, I just think that he didn't want me to get into music. He always supported my music, but I didn't really feel that he thought it was going to be a career for me. It was kind of his. He really I love baseball. I mean, more than anything, I just loved everything about it. So I did play from 8 until I was 18.
Wow, that's a long time.
When I was an 18-year-old, it was 16, 17, 18. Back then we called it Colt League, and which is kind of like high school level. People could really play.
Yeah.
I mean, people get signed when they're 18. Especially pitchers. But I just felt, I was seeing the guys being looked at, and it was always the guy that was above the entire league. Like, his numbers were so outrageous that maybe he might get scouted.
Yeah.
Well, I was like maybe the 3rd or 4th best player on my own team. You know what I mean? So that was a little discouraging. I mean, I had guys, just ran faster, threw harder, hit more home runs, So I just thought my chances, and plus I love music. All this time I'd been playing guitar. So, I just decided to go music full time,
Oh, yeah.
And I just told my dad that I just felt I had zero chance to make it. And he told me it's kind of like the Dumb and Dumber thing. It's like, he says only 1 in a million make it out and make it in music. and I said, I have zero chance in baseball, so at least, So you're saying there's a chance. You know what I mean?
Well,
that was a funny part in that movie.
It obviously ended up being a wise choice to go into music.
I loved it for one fun thing, which I think it really helps if you love what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
But I just love music. Period. I always have. I've always been kind of a melody guy, which has bled into me through my grandparents, and my grandpa was a touring piano player. My dad, we used to hit notes on the piano, and he would call what they were without looking.
Oh really?
Which I didn't even know that was a big deal because I wasn't, involved in theory or anything. I figured it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is a big deal.
So I had a really good ear through the DNA, so I would hum and key, So the guitar came fairly easy. I kind of learned chords and stuff through friends of mine around the neighborhood that've been playing longer, and and then I could pick up stuff on records.
Oh, that's great.
I learned Gloria, Wipeout, Pipeline, Secret Agent Man. When I was in fourth grade, I knew those songs I could play perfect,
So,
yeah.
Great White is perhaps best known for the hit Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Can you talk about that song's background and its impact on the band?
Sure. The song it kind of took on a life of its own in a way. We had several big songs, but none charted as high as that one.
Yeah.
So that kind of masked all our other songs. We probably had like 8 songs at least in the top 20 in our career. But that one just went crazy. And it's kind of funny how it happened. We had an album called Once Bitten.
Yeah.
And we felt like the obvious follow-up would be Twice Shy. And then my manager, he was managing Guns N' Roses as well. And Izzy, the guitar player, came to him, our manager, Alan Evan, he came to him with that song. He goes, "Man, you guys should do this song. It's a really cool song, It was just kind of an unknown song in America, and I guess just kind of marginally known in Europe, around the UK, by Ian Hunter, who used to be in Not the Hoople, singer.
Oh.
And great songwriter. All the young dudes, all the killer songs he has. But so we listened to it. Alan really liked it. He thought it was lyrically interesting, and we didn't figure it would be like a single or anything. We just had to be a cool song to throw on record. But the record company went crazy for it and said, "Man, that's a great song." And so they put it out, as a single, and people just related to it, and it just, like I said, took on a life of its own. And so it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about how a song could become so big that it dwarfs. You don't even know what the band is that did it.
Yeah.
Like songs like "Spirit in the Sky." I bet you can ask 20 people, they wouldn't have a clue who did that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
"Spirit in the Sky." It's such a big song. It's so big, you don't know the artist that did it.
Yeah.
I think Once Bitten, Twice Shy kind of got close to that.
Mm.
I was actually in a record store with a guy in front of me, and he goes, all he was asking for is the Once Bitten, Twice Shy band. He's got the guitar player standing behind him, and he's asking. That's how big the song went. It was pretty funny, but we don't mind it. We kind of made it our own. We didn't even sing the right lyrics in the chorus. But in the original version, it said I'm Once Bitten, Twice Shy.
Oh.
And we said my. So we figured, that's close enough,
Yeah.
But, so it, obviously, and made the song a hit. So it's okay. Like you said, it didn't happen by design. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, and it kind of, like you said, it kind of eclipsed your other songs, even though you did have other popular songs.
Higher. It was out for 7 months, and it was number 5 in Billboard. So yeah, I think Rock Me only got in the top 10. It went to 9, I believe. So that was also a big song. But there you go.
Well, something that is perhaps not common knowledge to a lot of people is that you are actually a man of faith. Would you mind sharing about how you became a Christian?
Sure. Well, when I was probably 11 years old, my grandmother was full-blown Pentecostal, and
Oh, yeah?
so we went to church a lot, when I was just a boy. And I've always just been a believer, I'm a full-blown Christian. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I deal with addicts and alcoholics on a daily basis. I started my own online support group. Just kind of reached out on Facebook. And, I was just thinking one day, I'm going like, instead of posting stuff on Facebook about how great I am, maybe I'll reach you. I'm kidding, of course, but you know what I mean? Maybe do something, something good,
Oh, that's great.
And so all I did was reach out on Facebook and say, hey, if there's anybody out there struggling with alcohol addiction or, addiction in any way, I'm available to be your sober friend. It's like that's all I offered. I wasn't offering any miracles or, just kind of share my strengths and hopes. Maybe, just share how I got help and, and the direction I took, and maybe, they'll follow suit. Started with one guy. I got him, I got Music Cares to get him into a facility in Nashville.
Yeah.
And he's got 4 years. So it just started out one or two guys, and they just kept getting a hold of me. I send them daily meditation and prayers. And so they start off their day, killer with a good prayer.
Oh, great.
And I have 94 people now.
Oh, wow.
So it's really grown in the last 5 years.
That's excellent.
And we celebrate, we celebrate milestones, time, celebrate newcomers coming aboard, So it's just a little support group outside of all the programs that they're involved in. It's just a little something extra, a way they can read a prayer when they wake up with their coffee and kind of start the day cool.
That's great. Well, what's it been like being a man of faith in a popular rock and roll band?
Pretty much fine. Obviously I'm not a perfect person by any means, but, when I got away from I actually got away from, I was a beer drinker. I mean,
Yeah.
People can, put that low on the food chain of alcoholics, but I got just as much pain as anybody. I'm happy that I wasn't, I didn't roll out of bed and just like drink a fifth of vodka or something. But, I got really tired of that, and that was really not good for my faith, I felt. I just felt I wasn't really being honest with myself.
Yeah.
So I just, and it just felt like a dark, if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. You know what I mean? And that, once I got away from that, I felt that I was starting to live right and starting, to get closer to God.
Yeah.
Find myself praying a lot more, and I'm a better husband, better dad, better, I got a 4-year-old grandson, so I'm just more attentive, focused, and I feel like it's a lot better today, than maybe it was back then. So I've always been a believer, but when you're kind of swimming in beer, it's hard to really focus on the important things in life. And I fit right in that day. You know what I mean?
And I feel like everybody's got something, whether it's alcohol or something else, everybody's got a struggle that they deal with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you go to church and you're thinking, man, look at all these great people, but they all got problems, they got stuff they deal with.
Yeah,
so you just gotta try to be the best you can be, I guess.
A lot of the time in church, people, I think they wear a mask, a smile, and everything looks great, but on the inside, they're struggling just like everyone else,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But at least, they're there, and,
right.
Hopefully they're trying to improve in, areas where they're not doing so good.
Moving ahead to the new album, you guys just released Full Circle on June 2nd.
Yes.
How did this album come together, and how does the sound compare to classic Great White?
Well, we've been wanting to do a record. We've been talking about it for a couple of years, and we were on what's called the Monsters of Rock cruise, which is about 30 bands get together from all over the world and go out on these cruises, and with about 4,000 fans. And our very first producer that did our very first EP and our first full-length album is called Michael Wagner. He's produced just about everybody, all the bands from our era, from Ozzy to Metallica, all the biggest bands. He probably sold 100 million records in his career. Well, he happened to be on this cruise, and I hadn't seen him or talked to him in years, and I always liked him and kind of followed his career. And he came and saw our band play, and I was able to say hello, but by the time I, got done and took off, I didn't see where he went. He kind of, he took off, but I saw him again on the boat, on the ship, and we talked for a little bit, and kind of just, how's it going? Nothing big. And as I was kind of walking away after we said goodbye, he said, "Hey man, why don't we do something again?" And I was really like, wow, that sounds interesting. That, that could be something really special, And I go, yeah, that sounds great. And let me talk to the band. And they were all real excited about it. So we kept in touch over the next few months. And as soon as our schedules opened up, we flew to Nashville. We weren't totally prepared, but we didn't have all the lyrics, but we had about 10 songs. So we kind of wrote the lyrics while we were there. And we're thrilled with the outcome. It's one of our best productions. It just sounds incredible. The feedback, there hasn't been a negative word from any journalist. They're all like, everybody's real excited, and we're really taken back by the feedback. Usually we get a couple haters in there, but we haven't so far. Praise God, nothing.
That's great.
Anything real bad happen. So yeah, we're just really happy with the songs and the music, and it's part of our motivation is to keep being creative. Just so we're not, the painter that sells the same painting every year. You know what I mean? And we just like to create new music, and we're always trying to get better, And I think we did pretty good on this album. The fans seem to be, happy about it. So it's fun to play live. We've done a couple shows and played a couple songs. So, we usually do two at a time kind of thing.
So, of the songs on the album, what are your favorite tracks? I know that might be a tough question.
No, it is a little tough, but as far as content goes, I really like Cry of a Nation. Yeah. That has kind of a little bit of a different look, but it still has the blues kind of soulful quality to it. Yeah. And I like it lyrically and everything. As far as just the straight ahead rockers, I like Moving On, I'm All Right, Big Time. Those three songs are pretty strong. I mean, and I like Never Let You Down because that's kind of where I come from, that type of blues with the heavy backbeat, I like those type of grooves. Oh yeah. But mainly overall, I like the grooves from the drums on every song because when you strip away all the music and the beats can make you move or bob your head or whatever, I always like that, Yeah. I think that's the backbeat and the bass, the bass and drums. If that can make you move alone, it's almost like you're halfway home, if you can come up with a good song around that, Oh, yeah. Regarding Jack Russell, what is your guys' relationship now like? Well, for one thing, I don't think we maybe gotten a couple arguments like in our whole 30 years together. So, oh, really? we've never really had any kind of, major spats or anything. He was just struggling really bad with, his demons and stuff. And it became difficult for him to even keep his balance, like he was falling down all the time. And then all of a sudden he just went off and, we just told him to go get well. And the next thing we heard, he had his own band. Went and got all these guys and made his own Great White or something, So we're just sitting back and going, oh, man, okay. And then he sued us. He tried to take the name like one man calling himself the whole band.
Yeah.
Which I always envision a band being a group of people, not one person, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wasn't too worried, but it was a long process for us to just get the name, him move on and do whatever he does, and, and everything's fine. I mean, he's out playing our music under his moniker, and, we're just doing our thing. We're a sober band, we're a focused band, and we're enjoying ourselves, and that's the way I live. That's the way I like to live.
So there's no real bad feelings between the band and Jack, or?
No. I mean, not at all. I mean, over the years, he's out playing our music, so our music's getting all over the place. I can't tell you how many cover bands I've seen over the years play our stuff, and I'm like, I love it, I like to hear how a guitar player is going to interpret my guitar playing.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because sometimes they totally get it, like, super close, but what I notice is they don't play it on the same spots on the neck, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like the way I play, I do it the easiest possible way, and they'll do it this real difficult way.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. And sometimes on the road we see bands that had a chick singer, like, doing Rock Me or something, and they'll, like, do it perfect. I'm like, man, this is really cool, watching people play our music. It's just, I get a thrill out of that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So, so it doesn't bother us at all that, he's doing what he's doing. I hope he's, doing okay and everything.
Okay, well, tell me about life on the road and how it differs now from the earlier days.
Well, we don't disappear for 2 years anymore on the tour.
Yeah.
So the change in that regard. And, we don't have all the mediums we used to have. We don't have the MTVs and, radio all over the country playing us every 5 minutes. So we hired a big team of, like, internet assassins, so you really gotta, that's our whole thing. We just want our fans to be able to get to our music, so.
Yeah.
But as far as the touring itself, we're not opposed to doing a bus tour, but it's very difficult when, you're not selling tons of records or doing something to make it make sense.
Yeah.
We could maybe go out for, like, 6 or 8 weeks, because we do that when we go to Europe. But as far as a long bus tour, it's like you might break even, and you're not really selling anything. So except maybe T-shirts.
Yeah.
But in the day when we tour out on bus tours, like we've done tours that are 11 months and then go straight into another one. But we might be breaking even or just a little above even on tour expenses and all that, but we're selling millions of records,
Yeah.
So, like, we're, a traveling commercial for our record and enjoying ourselves at the same time playing in front of the fans.
Yeah.
So it's different now in the sense that we fly out, we do, like, 3 shows, we fly home, next week, repeat, or maybe even have a week off. We'll do maybe 60, on a good year, maybe 70 shows.
Yeah.
Unless we do a big stint in Europe or something. So we might play 5 or 6 festivals, or, like we're going over to the UK, we're playing a big festival over there with Loverboy.
Oh.
yeah, it's just it's different that we do more of what they call today fly dates.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of bouncing around a little bit more than we used to route it like differently. You would have a tour routed to where you weren't traveling more than maybe 300 miles.
Yeah.
And if it was a long drive, it'd be on the day off, or you know what I mean? So these aren't routed that way. They're semi-close, but they're not, it's not perfect. But we still get out there and the fans still show up, so, it's a blessing.
That's great.
That we got the catalog of songs and the loyal fans, the fans are just amazing all over.
Yeah. All right, so in closing, what can audiences expect from a Great White concert in 2017?
Well, the first thing is, we save all our energy for the show. So, pretty much big energy. We try to bring the fans right into the show. We have a few extended jams that are never the same. So that's always exciting for us because we don't know what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
And, we really involve the fans, singing parts and, just make them feel like they're part of the band almost. And, we never bombard people with tons of new music, but we'll definitely play a couple of ones that they probably know by now. So that's it, just heart and soul, give them their money's worth, and, play our hearts out.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share or talk about today?
Just thank the fans for just being with us all these years, and growing up with us, telling us your stories. Every time I come up on a fan, they got some kind of story about where they were when this song came out, or I got married to that song. So don't think that doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm so grateful for all those stories. Because I'm a fan myself. I'm a total fan, and I have songs like that where I know exactly what I was doing, where I was, what the weather was like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Music is real special in that way when it can bring you to a place in your life and make you feel a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
So for our music to have any part of that is an absolute blessing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really thankful for the fans, So thank you, fans.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much for doing this, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Tom.
God bless.